Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are going to do the third episode of this series. I'm not going to spoil anything because I want to know what's going on myself. But the only announcements, of course, I'm going to repeat myself till whatever hue I become. If you want to watch all these episodes, they are readily available on our YouTube channel and on our Twitch channel. So please check them out. There's a lot of continuity in here. The way Michael puts things together, you can really see characters develop and become NPCs and then even resurface. So make sure and check that out because to me it's phenomenal the way he does these things. So without further ado, we're going to give this over to Michael. It is all yours, sir.
All right. Hello and welcome to Strange Generations, a nightmarish journey through the shadows of America, one generation at a time. This episode, entitled Majestic, this is the finale of the three-part Young 1950s series. And after this, we'll be done seeing these characters as children. We'll take a bit of a break, and we return. We'll see what the rest of their lives are like, which will all be decided by what happens in this very episode. I'll do a little recap to kind of fill you in, remember what happened in our last adventure. But first, let's meet those unfortunate teenagers, or no, there's no teenagers, those unfortunate adolescents or younger who are trying to survive in this trio of episodes. Let's start with Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm playing Rosie Walsh. She's 12 years old. Life isn't really very good for her. She has a missing dad, a mother who she has to work night shifts, and her mom's not really the most pleasant person either. She's dealing with it. She's really good at playing piano. Not really good at having friends. Pretty good at throwing cherry bombs at things. And she stole her mom's gun recently, and I'm sure nothing bad will happen because of that. Her motivation used to be to impress her parents. Now her motivation is to escape.
Hey, that cherry bomb came in real handy last episode, as I remember.
It did. She doesn't like any of this that's going on, and she doesn't know why we're putting in so much effort to save a weird little trash alien.
Well, you're all mixed up in it now. There's no backing out.
She didn't want to get mixed up in it. She's
also mixed up in it. Also mixed up in it is Dallas.
Hey everyone, I'm Dallas. I'm playing Oswald Wheeler. He's 10. He's in way over his head, that's for sure. He has never, even dreamed of anything like this. Only even glimpsed ideas of what these possible entities could be through conversations with Sean, and he's at the moment just trying to really wrap his head around what's going on. He's seen death for the first time up close, powers beyond his belief, a trash alien, and it communicates. So he's trying to figure things out, but he's not really good at too much else at the moment.
Well, we'll have to see how he gets on. We are also joined by Marvin.
So hi, I'm Marvin, and I'm going to be playing 9-year-old Boy Scout Jordan Mays. And he's not entirely fazed by all the supernatural stuff because he has seen some far worse stuff. Being a black kid in the 1950s, it's gonna, unfortunately do that to you. Also, he kind of has a broken arm at the moment, so he's probably high on adrenaline.
Ooh.
Oh, we'll see how long that lasts and when the pain actually gets to him. But he's also very excited to see all of the supernatural stuff as well. Because, well, this is the things his grandma warned him not to get involved in. And now he's involved. And he's liking it.
Wow. I think our 9-year-old might be the only one who's like enthusiastic about what's going on.
Again, he's probably high on adrenaline.
And we are finally joined by Nick.
Yep, I'm Nick, and once again, I am playing Sean Hackett, the loner who read about all these different kinds of things, but definitely not aliens. So it's definitely not what he was expecting when he heard all the stories from his semi-mentor, friend, confidant in who... I don't know. Who knows?
Oh yes, the good father, and it is father, not reverend. That is a error on my part.
It's Catholics. Who knows?
It happens. Yeah, I do, Paul. You know, as
I'm
always,
a lapsed Catholic.
I was Catholic.
As always, apologize for any errors, historical, theological, or otherwise that end up in the show. Feel free to correct. But let me give a real quick recap of what happened in our last episode. A long November night is nearly at an end, but not for 4 hard-luck kids from the hard-knock neighborhood of The Bend in the city of New Hookton. It all started with Charlie, an abandoned alien orphan who these 4 kids found themselves caring for. Except that Charlie was wanted by both the CIA's MK Ultra mind control program and alien hunting Majestic 12, and by the extra-dimensional monsters known as the Sunglasses Men, who are serving the powerful cosmic entity called Abraxas. Thankfully, kids had some help. They ran to Big Jack Rabbits, a former adventurer and current mechanic, who prepared a strange device from some centuries-old blueprints. The crown of Abraxas. What will it do? Why does Charlie want it? That's just another mystery in a night full of them. The Sunglasses Men and the CIA both crashed the party, and now the kids are on the run with Charlie in tow. Watch the skies, ladies and gentlemen. It all ends tonight. And we are going to pick up right where you guys left off. Thanks to some fast driving from a child from Oswald, you guys all piled into a custom hot rod that Jack was working. You got Charlie, you got poor Buddy Heller, who's been along for the ride, and you successfully sped away into the night, escaping Dr. Baumgartner, that CIA mind control scientist, and zooming into the night.
Okay, so they did end up picking up Rosie and Buddy.
Yeah, maybe they just, zoomed over to the side. You guys all piled into that car and were able to drive away.
Can I have Charlie use the power right now?
Yes, he has. Charlie has 6 energy tokens out of 7, so he's pretty full.
Okay.
Jordan has a broken arm.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie reaches over and touches your arm, and you don't have a broken arm anymore.
Oh, wow. I can move my arm. That's great. The adrenaline was coming down. That was getting really painful. Oy. Thanks, Charlie.
He makes
the weird series of grunts and clicks.
Yeah, I love it. You can tell it takes some exertion, but he does pull it off. Your car zooms along for a little bit when then another car, a kind of unremarkable but very well put together, very shiny Chrysler, sort of rolls to a halt in the intersection and brakes hard. And inside you see Big Jack Rabbits riding shotgun, and behind the wheel, Jordan, it is your granduncle, Isaac Vorman.
Uh-oh. Quick, is my grandma around?
No, it's getting kind of late, so the street's pretty empty.
Cool. I get to actually meet my granduncle Isaac. only met him the one time when he killed one of the counselors. And he looks at everyone, giving him a blank face. Don't worry, he was a pedophile. So, hey.
Alrighty then.
All right, so
Couldn't be any stranger than what we've experienced so far.
this time I'll hit the brakes hard and maybe turn the wheels slightly so I don't directly crash into something.
So they park. Big Jack walks over and says, "Little man, you drove that car pretty well. You mind shoving over?"
If you say pretty well by stripping your gears, sure. I'm out of the seat. You got it.
All right. We'll just go ahead and follow your granduncle there, Jordan.
Can I ride shotgun with Uncle Isaac?
Yeah, he's kind of idling a little bit.
Cool. I'll ride in the car, and everyone else can ride in this car. Don't worry, I'll be safe.
All right, you head over. You pop into the passenger seat. I was gonna say seat belts, but they had no seat belts back then.
As we nearly found out.
Yeah. So Isaac starts cruising down the street. Marvin, what do you think he looks like right now?
That's what I was just gonna ask.
I think he would be in like his 60s, 70s at this point.
Yeah, so he's definitely getting on in years. You think he's like kind of gaunt, or has he gained weight in his old age?
If he's still working for as a hitman, he probably looks like an old grizzled bastard. Probably has a scar running along his face, graying hair, but still looks like he could snap a person in half.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm just imagining how.
Yeah,
go
not
ahead.
as muscular as Big Jack, though.
I'm just imagining how innocent he was when we first met him in our very first arc when he was a little kid.
Yeah, that changed real damn quick, didn't
I
it?
know. So Isaac's like riding along and says, well, little Jordan, huh?
Hi, Uncle Isaac.
Hey there.
Is it true that all this supernatural stuff just happens at random?
As far as I understand it, if I understand it.
Have you ever met an alien?
Can't say I have. You mean like a Martian, Venusian, something like that?
No, like Charlie over there. And he just points to Charlie.
Oh, damn. That is a new one on me.
Do you know
So
about the guys who were trying to kill us?
You were just full of questions, Jordan.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I had a run-in with them in some form. Maybe they were a little less evolved, a little less put together back in the 20s. They seem to have changed a little bit, haven't gotten even more capable.
You know why they're trying to kidnap me and my friends?
I think they're after Charlie.
Why do they want Charlie, though? Besides being an alien.
Not sure. Some of these things, and you'll learn this when you get older. There are some questions just don't have answers.
Like why you don't come home or why Grandma hates you?
Yeah, well, there's a simple answer to that. It's because I make my living dealing death. And that's something she cannot abide.
I guess it kind of makes sense. Never really expected to see a dead body in my life, but hey, wasn't so bad.
I can see, Jordan, I see a little bit of myself in you.
Anyone who follows the show would think that it's not a good thing.
Yeah. So you drive on for a little bit, and then you head to the 2nd Street cab stand. Oh, go ahead, Rosie.
So Charlie's in the other car now.
I think so. I think Isaac, he went with you. I mean, not Isaac. Jordan, he went with you.
I would think it would just be Isaac and Jordan in one car, but if that's where the safest place for Charlie would be.
Well, you were talking about how Charlie was there, so I
Yeah.
felt like, oh, then okay, Charlie's not in this car anymore.
Hmm.
Right.
I think so. Though if you really want him to be in the car for a scene, we could do that.
Yeah.
I don't really want him. Like,
Okay.
But
All
if
right,
he's
you can
not
be-
in this car anymore, Rosie's gonna say something now that Charlie's not near her.
Okay. So let's
That's why
have
I'm trying
Charlie
to-
in the other car then.
All right, very good.
Hey, look, now that thing's gone, I want out of this. Like, completely out of this. I don't want to run with you guys. I don't want to be around you guys. I want to go home. Like, or to the bar. I don't want to be here.
Big Jack's like, yeah, I was thinking about that. It's unfair what happened to you. Same kind of unfairness happened to me when I was around your age. Just randomness to put someone so young with something so dangerous. Unfortunately, Charlie's connected to you, and more importantly, if you go away, the Sunglasses Men, the CIA, they're not going to stop. They're still going to see you as a link to get to him.
Well, that's why the longer I'm with you guys, the more and more I'm in danger. You know what I mean?
I'm afraid it doesn't work that way. You go on your own, you're still going to be in danger, and it'll be even worse because we can't protect you. There's only one way to really get you to safety. We have to end this. I've been thinking, that's why I called up your friend's granduncle. I think I got a way to do just that. Unfortunately, well, you kids need to get some sleep. For you, this night ain't over. I'm sorry. So they drive on for a little bit. Maybe you guys get some rest, maybe not. But pretty soon, you pull into the 5th Street cab stand. And it's not just a cab stand. This place is the hangout for Salvatore Goglio, known as Uncle Sally, who is the local don of this area's mafia. So it's definitely a wise guy hangout location. And even though it's pretty late, few cabs still coming and going, but the usual crew are hanging out outside. It's a little bit colder, so maybe they're not so much like relaxing on in the tables and chairs. Maybe they're more inside. But the place is still like lit up. So both cars park, everyone gets out. Isaac says, all right, you guys, get the, I don't know how Uncle Sally's going to react to bringing the alien in. I gave him a little bit of a ring. I've done some favors, let's call them favors, for him in the past. So he owes me one. But still, he might need a little bit of convincing from you guys. So just be on your best behavior. Yeah, the girl with the pigtails. Go ahead.
Please let me not. I don't want to be here, mister. Like, this is no.
You want to wait outside?
I want to be away from all of these guys. These are bad guys. They did really bad things to my dad.
I understand, and you're not wrong. Why don't you wait in the car? But don't worry, as long as I'm here, you're safe.
Okay.
We'll see you in a bit, Rosie.
Uh-huh.
All right, so you head in. Isaac gets up to the door. One of the various hoodlums goes over to frisk him. Isaac just shakes his head, and the guy backs off. And then all of you guys, except for Rosie, who's waiting outside, head into the office. Big band music drifts from the record player in the corner as you enter the cluttered office of the cab stand. Though directing cabs is the least important thing that goes on in this room. Uncle Sally Goglio sits behind the desk, a massive, protruding gut straining against his Hawaiian shirt. The noxious smoke of his fat cigar plays around his plump face and bright, darting eyes. Other wise guys loom in the corners, examining racing forms or filing their nails. Some of them glare at Isaac Vorman, but But Gaglio gives him a deep nod, almost a bow of pure respect. The angel of death, he motions to you to answer, and a whole flock of cherubs. What can I do for you?
Does anyone want to stop Jordan before he spills the beans?
Yeah.
I don't think
He's
Rosie's
gonna
there.
say
I
it.
don't think the other two are jumping in.
I was gonna say it.
Okay, go ahead.
We have an alien we want you to look at.
Holy shit. Are you taking Charlie out?
I don't know if I'm the one who has him.
I don't know if we specified.
Probably you or Isaac, right? Since he was in the car with.
Yeah, I think so. So it's probably in a backpack that Jordan's wearing.
Mm-hmm. So basically just plops him out and say, "Come on out, Charlie."
All right, Uncle Sally's like, what the fuck? And then Jordan's like, kid, I told you best behavior.
If I had a nickel for every time someone said that about Charlie, I'd have like 25 cents by now.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
But it's what we came here to do. He was gonna look at the alien anyways.
Eventually, but I mean, just sort of blurting it out probably is not the best idea. But then again, it's you.
But I mean, Isaac contacted him for reasons, right?
So Isaac goes over and talks to Uncle Sally for a little bit, and he's like, all I need is one of your Gaglio Liquor Company trucks, maybe a jumpsuit or some coveralls for me, and that's it. I know the company you own does deliveries over to Fort Pickett, and that's where this will end. You owe me, Uncle Sally. So let me use the truck, and we'll be quits. Uncle Sally's like, ugh, I don't know. I mean, you know I respect you. But those trucks got my name on it, and like the government, I got enough problems as it is. Besides, how do I know I can trust these like 4 squirts and the little green man over there?
Honestly, we just want to get Charlie out of here, away from people. You can do whatever you want with us.
And if you own the trucks, isn't there a way to cover what's on them or get somebody to change it quick?
Isaac's like, would be a good idea. Unfortunately, Gaglio Liquor runs the booze over to Fort Pickett. So they'll be expecting a Gaglio Liquor delivery truck. I mean, not this hour, but I can talk my way through the guard, I hope. So kind of need those trucks with the labels on them.
Then I guess if you don't do this, Mr. Sally, then more bad things are going to happen, worse than just getting your company in trouble. We've seen some real bad stuff. So maybe just letting us have one truck, you can even say we stole it.
It's actually not a bad idea.
We already
Like the way you
crashed
think,
one
kid.
car.
All right, Oswald, I think I made you roll a really low charm roll.
Okay. Well, at least I'm a kid, so +1 to that.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see. 6 + 1. So that's a 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking like 2 or 3 because you had a really good point there. Gaglio's like, yeah, that's fair. The cops come asking questions, I can just say it was stolen. All right. And he like reaches over his desk and throws some keys to Isaac. Truck's around back. Just go ahead, drive it out of here. I don't want to know anything else. And Isaac like accepts the keys and he's like, "Well, Sally, thank you. Kids, Charlie, follow me." they all head back out and go to the cars to where Rosie and Big Jack are waiting. And Big Jack has actually brought like a satchel with him, and he reaches inside and reveals the crown of Abraxas, which he finished building. It has the hood ornament as its centerpiece. So he like holds it out. Charlie stares at it, offers up their hands, and kind of levitates the crown down. He like puts it on his head for a second. His eyes like glow and flicker and crackle, and start to, you can see like a pure whiteness inside of them. And then he like takes it off and just holds it and looks kind of nervous.
You all right there, Charlie?
Molly, what's wrong? That's the whole reason we made it. For you. You're a prince, aren't you?
Yeah, they nod their head.
So, where'd the crown? Should be a no-brainer.
By the way,
Okay,
Something
you-
changed with him.
Oh, go ahead, Rosie.
during the entirety of this, Rosie has been looking the other way. Like she's using Indiana Jones rules at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like she doesn't want to know. She doesn't want to look at anything.
Okay, Charlie like takes it and kind of gingerly sets it on his head. There's a slight glow in his eyes, but he's like, they're able to contain it.
There you
So
go.
what exactly is the plan here? Or are we, should we not know?
Big Jack's like, I wish I knew. I made the crown, it's going to do something. And we're going to use it, or you guys are going to use it when you get closer to the source of the problem. And then Isaac's like, that's right, Fort Pickett. That's why I got this liquor truck. We're going to put you and Charlie in the back. Like I said, unfortunately, you guys got to come along. Charlie trusts you. So you're going to have to get to Fort Pickett, see what he does, but that's where all of these government experiments are being conducted. You ask me, that's where Charlie came from. And maybe with the crown, that's where he can put a stop to this all for good.
If it's possible, I'd like to add that, because I have the controlled tech telepath idea, maybe when he put it on, like all the lights in the area sort of like brightened up for a moment. The cars might have like started or revved up or something like that. Because I'm not sure what tech really is available for the time, but electricity might, like, you know, at least.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. The street lights are like flashing. The lights inside the cab stand are going on and off.
I would note though that would also perturb him as that he is scared of bright lights.
Yeah, well, he's scared of his own power a little bit. They're
Mhm.
scared of their own power a little bit, I think.
Mhm.
So Big Jack says, I guess this is where I say goodbye, kids. I've done my part, and I wouldn't be much good if I went on. Kind of stand out in a crowd. Also, this limp. Isaac, though, even though he's getting on in years, he'll look after you if he can. And with that, he and Isaac like embrace, and then Isaac walks around. He changes real quick and puts on like just a pair of kind of grayish coveralls with like Goglio liquor distributors on the lapel or on the breast pocket. And then he comes back with this old kind of rust-stained Goglio Liquor Company delivery truck. He opens up the back. There's like a few crates, maybe haven't been delivered yet. Some booze, though not too much. Mostly just empty. And he's like, "All right, hop inside. We're gonna saddle up and ride away."
Just in the back of a booze delivery truck, huh?
Well, sometimes you have to use what tools are available to you.
I wonder what we have available here. But I don't have 2 adversity tokens, so I can't use treasure hunter, so
Oh,
eh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see about getting you some more adversity tokens.
I'm plumb out myself.
Same.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for.
I got
I
4.
haven't been making as many diversity tokens as last few times.
Yeah, we get some pretty terrible rolls in our last arc, but you guys have been doing not so bad this time. Well, we'll see.
I've been
We'll
doing
see.
terrible.
Oh, I think Rosie has made some flubs. That's fair.
Yeah, I've got 4 adversity tokens. I don't know what the rest of you are talking about.
Ooh.
Well,
Oh yeah, it's been
I
some
only
hard
have
times.
I
one.
made one and then used it, so
Ooh, I actually
Talking
do have
about
an
Rosie and her adversity, she like gets into the back of the truck like videos of a hostage at this point. Like she's doesn't she's already expressed her opinion that she doesn't want to be here, and at this point she's just acting like a kidnapped victim.
Okay. So everyone piles in. Isaac like closes the door. There's some kind of gashes in the wall so you can see what's going on. And then he gets in the truck and drives away. You head out of the bend, head back through New Hookton, hit one of the highways, and after a little while, you're like in the countryside. You are in Husker County, Pennsylvania, and maybe you pass like the city kind of thins out, and then you're in farmland. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever been out of the city like this far.
probably been in like the surrounding woods, but I don't know if I've been out of town.
Yeah, maybe Jordan's like the only one who's heard crickets chirping.
It's probably just pointing out local wildlife. That sound? That was a woodpecker. Yeah, I know. It's weird. I never thought they would make those sounds either. It's kind of cool.
Well, now that you got some forest facts. So you cruise along through Husker County, head through some farms. You can see Charlie looking like more and more nervous, but they're kind of steeling themselves. And then you get to Fort Pickett, which is pretty decently sized military installation, like huge cement walls, guard towers, everything a military base needs. You roll over to the guard tower, or not the guard tower. Isaac stops at the guard post, and you can hear him like talking with the guy inside, being like, "Look, I don't know what to tell you. I guess the officers just want their booze, even at this hour." And after a while, the little gate creaks open, and you roll inside. He like drives down through some buildings, comes to a halt, and then at this point, Charlie goes over to the door, and like he opens it, and hops out, and starts kind of padding off into the base.
Should he
Not a
be
good
doing
idea
that?
there, Charlie.
Yeah, he's just heading like straight away, like into the shadows.
Yeah.
Rosie's gonna follow him.
Yeah, I was about to say.
All right.
Yep, Uncle Isaac said we shouldn't let him out of our sight, so let's don't let him out of our sight.
Okay. You can see Isaac looking back and being like, "I brought a few tools. I'm gonna get set up. I'll see if I can follow you. But it wouldn't do for me to be spotted, and it wouldn't do for you to be spotted either. So don't be."
Okay. So
Got it.
I'll have Charlie use his dexterous abilities to stick to the shadows, perhaps. If possible.
Oh, that's a cool idea. You think does that burn a psychic token? If it does, I won't
No, it's
roll.
not one of the psychic ones. Yeah, I don't know if it burns one or not. Actually, you could tell me, because he has two sort of like just traits in a way, and then he has the ability that I have to control. So two of the traits are dexterous and puzzles.
Okay. I'll say this: if you burn it, he'll be able to like hide you guys in the shadows, and you won't have to roll. It will cost an energy token. You have 5 out of 7 left. If you don't do it, I'm gonna need some rolls. See if you can get through without any like soldiers just hanging out, spotting you.
We could do it
Okay, I think
without
it's
and
worth
get
it, or do you want to leave it up to fate?
we can get some
Man.
adversity tokens.
Leaving it to fate is always interesting.
Leaving it to fate is always interesting.
Okay.
I'm
I think we gotta
apologizing
do-
in advance for anything Rosie's about to do.
All right. Well, let's
know
do
that
like
I love all of you.
let's do the classic group stealth check.
Okay.
How do we do that?
I think this would be
Would it be
Probably
flight?
grit. Let's do
Oh, it's great. Okay.
Grit. Okay.
grit. I can
Flight or
see
grit?
grit. What's that?
Flight? Grit?
Yeah,
I
I
can
can
see
see
it being
flight.
flight. I'll leave it up to you to decide if you want to roll grit or flight.
I'd rather do grit.
Okay.
All right. Let's start with Rosie, and we'll go kind of.
All right, I'm gonna do
Clockwise around my
flight
screen.
because it's better than her grit. I've got a 9.
Okay, that's pretty solid. How about Oswald?
5.
Okay, how about Jordan?
8.
Ooh. All right, and then how about Sean?
Let's do. Yeah. Well, I get the +1. No, we'll do great. 15.
Oh, okay, you're very stealthy.
D20. So.
Whoa, nice. Okay, I think who was the lowest there? I think maybe it was Oswald. Yeah. So I think maybe Oswald is about to haplessly walk out in front of just some soldiers who are heading out of their barracks for some I don't know, going to the Coke machine for a late night drink. But then the rest of you guys pull them into the shadows and they walk by without noticing. So Charlie takes you to the far side of the base. And he brings you into kind of like a low slung sort of bunker, and creaks open the door and starts heading inside. It is but in this one, as soon as you're in, you see that. I'm trying to think of the right way to do this here.
Hey, Michael.
Oh, go ahead, Rosie.
Before we get a lot further, Rosie's not going into the bunker.
Okay, Rosie's waiting outside.
Something like that.
All right, well, let me reveal what's in the bunker,
Okay.
and then we'll check back with Rosie.
Okay.
You enter a laboratory drawn by Hieronymus Bosch. Cluttered wooden shelves surround tables full of strange beakers and test tubes, glowing with technicolor brightness. Body parts join them, none of them human. A severed hand with 4 long fingers mounted on a stand. A bulbous alien head, the skull removed to reveal the glowing purple brain inside. Alien eyeballs in jars. Charlie lets out a low, keening wail. The thin fellow, completely hairless apart from a snow-white pencil mustache, is bent over one of the lab tables, looking like the witch in a Germanic fairy tale. He's wearing all whites, buttoned up, and his back is to you, and he's kind of humming a little German ditty to himself as he's working on something. Right now, he hasn't quite spotted you, but he is definitely in your way before you go further inside. Meanwhile, what is Rosie doing?
She's hoping that whatever is in that bunker is distracting enough that she can slip away now.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I mean, the guy hasn't this scientist has not noticed anybody, and there's certainly some weird stuff in there. But
she like I said, the bunker. She didn't even want to go into it.
Okay, I'm just thinking, Rosie, are you trying to stealth away from your companions there? Okay.
And the rest of us are not seeing her get away, are we?
Well, you might.
You might. Rosie, let me have you roll flight.
Yeah.
Should I do a contested notice kind of roll? I don't know. Let's have you roll flight and we'll see how you do.
Well, it's a 7, but I'm willing to spend adversity tokens.
Okay. Yeah, I would say if you spend 3 adversity tokens, that'll make sure nobody spots you. If you wanted to, you think she would do that though?
I think she's terrified and doesn't want to be here, and she was told that nobody likes her, and she doesn't want to be here. She thinks that they're going to do something horrible to her, and she doesn't trust them.
Okay, so you spend those adversity tokens,
Yeah.
so you are able to like maybe you just kind of like fall to the back, and everyone goes ahead following Charlie, and then you just like don't follow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are outside. You split the party. What do you do?
I mean, she's just going to run as best she can. Like, she's been told that these soldiers want to kill her. She thinks that the people she's with want to kill her. Like, the only other thing she could think of doing was shooting Charlie, and she knows she shouldn't do that. She knows nobody likes her, and she's just caught up in that. You know?
Okay. All right, so are you, like, heading in any certain direction, or just kind of, like, running pell-mell?
I think she's just trying to run to the road, and then she's going to keep running until she gets somewhere.
Right, okay. I would say you get about, you're, like, going through kind of an alley in the base, when then sort of going the way you came, and then you bump into Isaac, who is now, like, loaded for war.
Good old Isaac.
Yep, he is like a crude, or not crude. They had body armor back then. Even like World War I and stuff. So he's wearing like a flak jacket. Maybe they didn't have flak jackets. I think it's a Vietnam thing, but body armor equivalent. He is like a rifle on his back. He is like bandoliers, other equipments, and like a submachine gun like at his side.
And grenades.
Oh, of course. How could I forget? You guys love your grenades. So you're like, maybe you're not looking where you're going. You kind of like almost collide with him. And he's like, whoa. Missy, if I wasn't as calm as I was, I might have unloaded on you. What's going on?
Geez, mister, I think that maybe that would be better anyway.
Oh, no, don't say that. Don't even joke about that.
Everybody's been telling me I don't even have a choice here, and everybody tells me they don't like me, and I don't know why I couldn't just sit this out. All I want to do is be left alone,
He's like, I wouldn't be lying if I said I would be lying. I would be lying if I told you I haven't been where you are. For me, it started with just I got in trouble, had to go collect firewood in the forest. Next thing I know, this ancient Germanic folk god has marked me for death. I took a night in a haunted mansion, a flooded basement, ghosts like you can't believe, to finally put that behind me. And then a couple decades later, it came back all over again. I don't know if it's ever really gone away. These things happen. Bad things happen. We can't control it. But all we can do is control how we react to them. And God knows I wanted to run plenty of times, but I'll tell you this. Running is not going to help. You understand, miss?
Yeah, but I don't know who to shoot either.
Trust me. When the time comes, you'll know. And just as he says that, behind you in the shadows, you hear the crackle of static. Some of the lights in the base, like in some of the barracks and search watch towers, sort of start going crackling on and off. And you hear that terribly familiar static voice. Do you enjoy the latest hits? Isaac's like, what the hell is that?
It's one of the sunglasses men. They're here to kill us. But they would have just been here to kill you if you had let me go.
Like I said, if you were away from me, they'd still find you. And then you wouldn't have someone as good-looking and charming as me to protect you. All right, I'll tell you what. Get behind me. When it comes closer, I'm going to open fire. If things look bad, run.
Gotcha.
All right, so he like kind of gets in front of you. He drops to a firing position, and you see one of the sunglasses men, like the lights flicker out, they flicker on, and then one of those waxy skinned, mannequin faced sunglasses wearing with the gooey oil slick sort of tears running down. It's hollow, pale cheeks, staring right in front of you. It starts moving and holding out its hands like some kind of zombie Frankenstein. Isaac just swings up the Thompson and like opens fire. Opens fire.
You can go back to the group in the bunker. I didn't mean for this to take so long.
Well, no, I like it. This is actually just when I was pointing just to switch perspectives.
Okay.
That's one of the great things about. I mean, they say never split the party, but like, if you do split the party, you can do cool stuff like this and like cut between scenes to increase the tension. That's a little screenwriting pro tip I'm throwing at you. Sorry.
So,
Meanwhile,
yeah.
Back in the laboratory, you guys have this weird scientist back to you as he's dissecting another alien. What do you do?
Does anyone know how to knock someone out? No. What about you, Rosie? Where did Rosie go?
The one person who probably could knock someone out.
Oh no.
I hope she didn't get kidnapped again.
What's this guy holding or using at the moment?
I think he's working on like an alien's brain, and he's like a syringe, and he's just kind of like extracting some tissue or something from it.
Okay.
Are there any like heavy objects?
Yeah, I would say so. There's probably some heavy like lab equipment, microscopes, that kind of thing.
So I think. Hey Charlie, do you think you could grab that and maybe try and knock him out with that? And I think Charlie will use his moving objects with his mind and attempt to whack it with him.
All right, so that's going to bring you to 4 out of 7 energy tokens.
Mhm.
Okay, so Charlie, and you can see a kind of rage in Charlie's eyes as they hold out their hands. They lift up like a heavy microscope, bring it through the air, and then drop it. And it falls down and like smacks on this guy's head. He like drops down on the table. Alien brains get everywhere. He falls down and like rolls over. He stands up. He's not quite knocked out, but you can tell he's like hurt. There's like a big growing bruise and some blood in the side of his head. And he spins around and gets like kind of a sight of you and says like, our little Charlie has returned. I must say, your kind are much more interesting than my previous subjects. And my new masters, he reaches over and like turns a Bunsen burner up to its highest heat, causing a big blue flame to burst to life.
And at that, Jordan steps the hell back.
Yeah, so we get some fire going on. They know to leave me to my own devices.
Charlie, I said knock him out, not just hurt him.
Charlie like shrugs. But he's definitely, he can't quite see you. He's sort of stunned. He grabs a beaker of some kind and like heats it over the flame. And he says like, "Where are you, Charlie? Come to Air Tanzer. If you've brought some friends, Air Tanzer wants to see them too." And as he's trying to as he's like holding his hand over his face, he's moving around and wafting this chemical through the laboratory, trying to get you to inhale it.
Is there anything we could maybe
Yeah, I could.
throw at him or something?
Or throw at the beaker. I'm gonna look for something to like small that I could just sort of huck at the beaker to try and knock it off at the Bunsen burner.
Okay, you are in a lab full of science equipment, so probably not too hard to find something. Let's have Sean go, and then we'll go around.
Okay.
Okay, so Sean, you want to throw something at the Bunsen burner? Okay. Yeah, there's like tables full of equipment. You can grab like another beaker, a test tube, box. I don't know. I failed chemistry. A chemistry thing.
Mhm.
So go ahead and roll to throw something. I think this would be brawn.
Okay.
I'm not thinking it's fight.
It's fine. Brawn's
Kinda
better for me.
using- Okay, so go ahead and roll brawn. This is kind of tricky because you're hitting a small target.
7.
Ooh, yeah, I was gonna say a 5 or higher, so 7 would do it.
Cool.
So you hurl it, the Bunsen burner like topples over. There's some definitely flammable chemicals on this table, and the table like whooshes over, blue flame bursting over, covering the tablecloth. We'll check back with Oswald in a second. Jordan, I want you to give me a grit roll. Because you were afraid of fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
And
a big table of
everything's-
fire in front of you now.
And everything's currently on fire. That is one merit badge Jordan is not earning anytime soon. Rolled a 6 on grit.
Okay. I think you barely hold it together.
hmm
What do you think that looks like?
Yeah, it looks like Jordan is having some uncomfortable memories of shit he's seen that kids should not be exposed to. But he remembers that was then, this is now. Scouts don't run away. And he kind of repeats that to himself. Scouts don't run away. Scouts don't run away. And he stays his ground.
Okay, you're holding your place. Oswald.
I guess I see that. I'm gonna look to Charlie and be like, the crown now? Can I, if I can get to the back of this guy, I want to pull the old leg right up to his sort of nether, his man spot, and just whack him right in the nuts, basically.
Do you want to kick a Nazi in the balls?
Yep, from behind, just raise it up, whoom,
I
right
love
from
it.
behind.
hmm
Okay. I think in the chaos of the fire, you're able to get around him. Give me a fight roll to kick him in the nuts.
Oh, this
Nards,
would be interesting.
as Monster Squad would say.
Oh, that's a 2.
Okay, giving yourself an adversity token.
Hey.
What do you think messes you up?
Maybe something slick on the floor, something that fell otherwise or spilled or something, or maybe just a slippery floor in general.
Or is it that Nazis don't have nards?
Yeah.
Oh, you heard it here first. So you try and get him a good kick in the man parts. Unfortunately, you slip, fall on your back, causing Tanzer to spin around. He has one of the beaker that he was cooking is like smoldering in his hands, and he like waves it in front of your face, and he's like, "American children. They grow up so fat and full, they lack discipline. This will give you a taste of fear." Oswald, this is the same kind of chemical that like in that poor Buddy who was kind of cowering in the back, along with Charlie and Rosie were hit with before. That kind of, it's almost like a hallucination that knows your worst fear or your worst memory and brings that in front of you to trap you and hurt you. It weaponizes your own mind against you. So
Totally forgot Buddy was here.
Yeah. Well, he's hanging around with you guys. He's part of this adventure too.
Mhm.
So Oswald, is there like a particularly horrible memory or like
Oh yeah.
or a potent fear? Mm-hmm.
And that is, let me just make sure I got it right. That's definitely trying to get through Knockabout Alley on a way home one day, getting caught and basically getting beat up by a bunch of kids and forced to crawl on my hands and knees over my jacks game.
Ooh. You think it was the Fifth Street Fireballs who did it to you, or just some other bullies?
Something like that, but yeah.
Oh, you think Rosie was there?
Oh, I think he would have like a far more just like arresting fear if he was around, if when she was around him, if that was part of that. But maybe he just doesn't remember. Maybe he couldn't tell if she got hit in before he saw, but I don't know. But yeah, that's why he hates going down certain places after school and likes to walk in groups.
Okay. So once again, you were already on the floor and you like kind of roll over to crawl away, and then you're in the that nasty stained cement of the alley. You're putting your hands over the cracked pavements. The jacks are like poking into your palms and knees, and you're hearing some bully's voice like cackling in your ears, like, "Come on, pencil neck geek, go ahead and crawl away like a little worm, huh?" But this time, no matter how far you crawl, it's in that nightmare mode where you're just moving and moving, but you never change position, just like extends in infinity in front of you, and you are trapped in this. Let's go check in with what is Jordan doing while this is going on?
So Jordan's not afraid of the fire at the moment. He's kind of, he's kind of staying on that. So he's going to look for something flammable, and then he's going to try and convince Buddy to throw that flammable thing at the doctor and set him on fire.
Whoa, okay. Buddy's like, I don't know. You find let's see. So it's something like you want to hold into the fire to like make a torch.
Well, I was hoping if I could throw something at like that Bunsen burner, it would like kind of explode all over the doctor.
Okay. Buddy picks up like maybe sort of like a round like glass equipment of some kind.
Yeah, I can also make a brains roll, see if I can get something specific.
Oh, okay, I like that. Yeah, go ahead.
Right on. That's my D20. 19.
Whoa. Okay, you find somehow this glass piece of scientific equipment is like the exact shape, size, and weight of a baseball.
That works. Seems flammable. Okay, Buddy, you're stronger than me, so take this and aim for that Bunsen burner. And make sure not to hit Oswald.
Look, I mean, I'm a decent enough pitcher, but I'm no Sandy Koufax. You think I can really do this?
I'm sure you can, Buddy. Because if you don't, we all die.
All right. Here's my fastball. So he hurls it. I'm not going to roll for Buddy. It smashes over and it crashes onto the back of Ertanzer. His white lab coat starts bursting with flame. He like tumbles away from Oswald, causing more fire. He actually like kicks over the table. So now fire is like racing across the ground, causing the whole lab to go up. And he scrambles away and starts like running towards the door to try and get out of there. Unfortunately, Oswald is still trapped in the hallucination and is now being surrounded by flame. Sean, how are you going to save him? And like, you can see that there is another door at the end of this lab that Charlie seems keen to get to. But first, you've got to save Oswald. So Sean, you're up.
Okay. Let's see. Is there like a path, like between that I can possibly take, like as I'm running towards that door that Charlie is going towards, and grab Oswald on the way?
I think so, though it might take a little bit of maneuvering through the fire to get to him.
Okay. Then I will give that a shot, whichever roll it is.
Let's go with flight.
Okay. That's my D12. Okay, with the +1 being a kid, it's oh no, that's a 10.
Okay, pretty good. You make it over to Oswald without getting burned. Now you got to find some way of getting Oswald up, shaking him out of this hallucination.
Could I possibly just sort of like drag him out of the reach of the fire, and then just sort of be like, maybe
Well, Oswald, you're both like Oswald's 10, you're 11,
12.
You're 12. You're 12. I mean, there's a bit of a difference between a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. You got some more. You can probably pull him away without too much trouble. Okay, so you pull him like kind of to the other side of the fire, closer to the door. How are you going to get him out of this hallucination? And then we'll check back with Rosie.
We could use one of Charlie's powers.
That is true. You do have 4 left.
We never
I
used
don't
the
know
plants.
if I have control of. The one that I have control of isn't really useful, so.
Other people could pop in here to control it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the healing necessarily works with the psychological thing, unless we rule that it does.
I got plants, so
Yeah,
but I don't know if we can just generate plants or like spring a flower out of his hand and have Oswald smell it.
That's
You know,
okay.
we
I mean,
are in the middle
there's
of the
potted
woods.
plants in here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rosie.
I was gonna say, aren't we out in the middle of the forest? Like, I know that we're on a military base, but still.
Yeah, there's like trees around, potted plants.
Okay.
In this place, in this laboratory in particular, there's some, there's a nice ficus.
The other idea I have is, tell us, in this nightmare, are you actually saying something, or are you just sort of silently trying to crawl away?
Probably bawling and just like probably repeating like I don't want to, not another, I can't go any farther, I can't, something like that.
Okay.
I might even be like, motioning like this, crawling slightly or something. But if I wouldn't be resisting, because in my nightmare I'm trying to get through it.
Yeah. So I guess with that, I would just be saying like, dude, you're all right, you're fine, you don't need to go any further, you're safe. Like, obviously I have no idea what exactly is going on in his head, but I'm just like trying to just reassure him, just be like, no, you're fine, you're good, don't need to go any further.
Okay, why don't you give me a charm roll?
Oh, that's my worst stat.
Oh no! Well, don't be too hard.
Explode.
Hey, what else can you expect from a 12-year-old doing psychology?
Yeah,
Natural 4?
Did you get a natural 4?
No, I got a 3 plus 1. So.
Oh, all right. So total of 4.
Total of 4. Yeah.
Okay. I would say it's not enough to totally shake him out of it. But Oswald, you are now aware of your surroundings. So the hallucination, you still hear the bully's voices in your ears. You realize, like, you're not in Knockabout Alley. You're on the floor of this lab that's on fire.
Okay. So I might like sort of like come out of it sniffling, like, Sean, you're not one of them, right? You're not hurting me.
No, never. I would never do that. I would never do that to you. We're friends. We're buddies.
And then I'm hoping the fire might maybe, and everything else, maybe kick me into a little bit of reality. Thank you.
Yeah. But right now we need to get through that door. Can you do that?
I'm going to hold on to you, and then, yeah.
All right.
Okay. and I think Isaac and Buddy, with following Charlie, power through and start like making it out, weaving your way through the fire. Get to the next door, shove it open, and head outside. Meanwhile, just before this happened, gunfire breaks out across the base as Isaac just like unloads the Tommy gun onto the Sunglasses Man.
Oh, cool. I was wondering when Uncle Isaac would start shooting things.
Yeah, give it a little bit of time. So, Rosie, you see the Sunglasses Man like rocking back. His sunglasses are shattered. Part of his head is like blown away. Chunks of him are falling apart. And Isaac's like, this will take me a little longer than I expected. See if you can circle around and find your friends.
Okay. They're all back in town though, but like, you want me to go to the jazz club?
No, the kids that you came here with.
Oh, those kids. Why am I?
You don't think they're your friends, Rosie?
Nah, they're a bunch of jerks.
Well, Rosie, I hate to break it to you, but right now they're all you've got. Anyway, help that big-headed buddy of yours. He might be the only way to stop this.
Got it. So don't shoot the little guy.
Don't do it.
That
I
won't
think that's what
cause
these
this
guys
to
want to
stop.
do.
Because I was thinking about shooting him. That was why I ran.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, these guys, I think they're trying to snuff him. So if you kill him, that would be what they want.
Okay.
Also, his nephew is in there, so that's kind of important.
Yeah, and you may, and if you can, look after little Jordan for me.
Okay. Which one's he?
I think you know. Go.
Okay. She
So-
thinks about it for a second. She's very bright. She's like, oh, right.
She's a very... Okay. So you lope around down the alley. Unfortunately, there is another Sunglasses Man. They can kind of teleport, duplicate. There's another one at the mouth of this alley, sort of waiting for you. Kind of blocking your path. How are you going to get by him?
She says to him, like, hey, mister, did you enjoy Modern Hits?
Do
And then she shoots him.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Go ahead and roll.
I can never
Right.
get their phrase right. Do you enjoy something?
Yeah, it's like, do you enjoy the latest hits?
Mister, do you enjoy the latest hits? And then, then she
Yeah, just as he's like repeating it, he makes a little confused.
Yeah, she was hoping that would confuse him long enough to get in a shot.
All right, you swing up the pistol and just unload on him. Let's see how
It's an
the fight
11.
goes. Ooh, that's really solid. And like at this range, hard to miss.
Yeah.
Even though, I don't know, have you ever fired a gun before?
Oh, yeah, she's definitely fired a gun before. This isn't the first time she stole her mom's gun.
Yeah, I think I remember in our last session, this is like, Mike just forgot. You were talking about like practicing on like cans and bottles in an alley or something
Yeah.
in the junkyard there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you just like swing up the kind of 38 special fire. It like rips into what would be his mouth, and just like half of his head is blown apart. The sunglasses shattered. That oil slick kind of greenish black goop like goes splattering across the walls. He's still standing, but his arms are like, it's like he's blinded. His arms just stretching out, reaching for nothing. You can kind of see if you can and you can like slip around and easily get past him.
Okay, cool. She shall do so. She's not going to waste an extra cherry bomb on this guy if he's already blinded.
Okay. So you're heading back to the lab where
She is heading back to the lab because the guy that's got all the cool guns seems to believe in her for some reason, and she likes that.
hey, we all need a guy with a lot of guns to believe in us.
And the fear toxin's wearing off more. That's been a big part of like what I've been like having her go through is she's still withdrawing from that fear toxin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That messed her up, man.
Right. Okay, so you spin around the corner. There's like right now the whole base is like starting to get on high alert. There's gunfire and explosion. You get soldiers running every which way, but they're very hesitant to enter this area of the base.
By the way,
You can
does
tell. Oh, go ahead.
does it seem like there are other guns around?
I mean, they're really in the arms of soldiers.
Gotcha.
There's not really like just an ammo dump.
Okay.
You want to?
Huh?
I mean, I don't think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong about military bases. They don't just leave the guns unlocked, do they? I hope not.
No, probably not.
No,
But, you know.
ordnance depot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you like? Do you want to try and sneak into one to steal some like a better gun, or what's?
I mean, if she sees people coming and going from a room and getting guns, she might try to slip in there and like get a better one.
Okay. What
Utterly
stat?
bonkers, but
What do you think you would roll to pull this off?
I mean, to sneak in there, it's probably either a flight or a grit.
Let's go with flights.
Okay. 7.
Okay. I would say you don't get a gun. You do get a grenade.
Grenades are good.
Grenades are always good.
Okay.
I have to do it. We
Like
got to
bigger
think
cherry
the show
bombs.
about grenades.
It's a bigger
You're
bigger
welcome.
cherry bomb.
Yes. You just find like some particularly dim-witted soldier. He was dashing out with like a whole belt of grenades, and one just like fell off.
Yeah, that works for me. Then she'll.
But, you know, the pin is still in it. It just like fell off of whatever belt he was there.
That's good.
Okay, so you get the grenade. So you spin around, you reach the front of the lab. The soldiers like aren't really going in this area. They're kind of like, you know, sweeping the whole rest of the base, but this particular spot is off limits.
Okay.
And you know, they handle their own in this spot. So you get there just as you see Air Tanzer reeling his way out on fire. He like drops down, rolls over a few times, able to put off the flames, and he's just
Great.
crouching there. He's in pretty bad shape, being, you know, banged in the head, and so he's all kind of like bruised and bleeding, and then sort of set on fire.
And none of the rest of them are in this room anymore.
You can see, like, maybe you're looking through the windows, and you see they're just dashing through to the doorway at the back.
Okay. He said he's on the ground right now, right? Trying to put himself out.
Yeah, he's like in the process of just smothering those last flames when you arrive.
Cool. She walks up, steps on his neck, and shoots him in the face.
Whoa, I mean, you don't really know who this guy is. Is that something you think
I
Rosie
mean,
would
he's
do?
in this creepy lab filled with creepy shit, right?
Yeah, that's fair. You can see the dissected aliens inside.
Yeah. She
All right,
says-
he just looks
she
up
said-
and shouts
she's
out.
like, yeah, she doesn't even say anything to him. She just,
He just gets a simple like 9, and then, you know,
yeah.
I won't make you roll for that. It's
Okay.
it's not hard to point blank execute somebody.
Yeah.
She's
She's like,
one
I
of
don't
the
know.
many
Who the
reasons.
she's
Oh,
like,
go
I
ahead.
don't know who you were, but this seems to be some sort of nightmare, and I'm gonna start shooting the monsters.
Okay, yeah, the pistol goes off, and his 9 is ended as his life is exterminated. His life is extinguished.
Does he bleed red?
Yeah, he is human.
Huh. Thought it would have been green goo or something. Oh well.
Whoa.
Renegade.
Does he have a
Oh.
gun?
He does have no guns. He does have a syringe full of the same chemical. You can tell the coloration, this kind of like pale glowing chemical that you were injected with earlier.
All right, she'll take that.
Okay. Then you hear some footsteps in the gravel, and you hear a familiar voice being like, "Miss, I'm going to ask you not to shoot me."
How does it sound familiar?
It is Dr. Baumgartner. And you hear that, you know, the club-footed kind of limp as he's coming around.
Well, then don't move any closer to me. She's gonna kind of start backing away from him.
He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy there, miss. Though at this range, I wouldn't exactly trust your accuracy. What is that, Saturday night special?
It worked on this guy, didn't it?
I suppose it did at that. I always found guns to be rather clumsy devices. Needles, syringes, I much prefer those. There's a certain fellow in the Congo that we may have to take care of in the future, and it'll be much better if we do it with poison than with a bullet. But I digress. I must thank you for doing me a bit of a favor for removing Air Tanzer over there.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. Now, I'm supposed to be saving people, so...
Well, you're doing a bang-up job. You've already killed one person, and apparently brought those sunglasses-wearing aliens into this base.
Yeah. I think I'm going crazy, mister.
No. My chemicals, I didn't give you a big enough of a dose to do that. You're simply having your horizons expand. It happened with me as well.
I'm uncertain. As a player, I'm uncertain what this guy's end game is here.
Okay. He'll tell you this. He's like, Miss Walsh, tell me, did your friends head into that building?
Which building? I saw
The
them
one
head
that's
into this
currently on
building.
fire. Yes, the laboratory.
Yeah, the one I just came out of.
Oh,
Or wait, where did I shoot this guy?
He was outside the laboratory, so you're currently
Okay.
outside.
Yeah.
You got there just as he burst out of the door.
Gotcha. So I guess, mister, you probably have a pretty good immunity to that whole fear thing, right?
You'd be surprised.
I mean, I bet you've used it on yourself, right?
Well, now that you say it, I really haven't. It's been more, I'm the scientist. I conduct the experiments. I'm not the guinea pig.
How close is she to him right now?
Oh, do you want to try and stick him?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, okay. He was gonna try and lure you around the back, but yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
He's a little bit farther away because he is wary of your gun.
Sure.
Give me a fight roll to just cross the space and jab him with the needle.
That is a 16.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, you do it. How does this look like?
She's like, well, gosh, I guess you've been trustworthy this whole time. Here, if you don't mind, mister, I'm kind of scared. Will you hold my hand?
Why not?
And that's when she jabs him with the needle.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So you push it down. He stumbles back and falls against the wall. And he is rolling over. He is able to call for help. So you do hear some more boots pounding down the alley there.
Okay.
All right. So
then
what
she's
do you
gonna
do?
Then she'll go into the building.
Okay.
That's where they all went.
Yeah. All right. So let's
This got
rejoin.
weird.
What's that?
This got weird.
It's about to get weirder.
Cool.
Okay. So the other four and Charlie have made it through the burning lab. There's another doorway another door which slides open. You head down a small sparse metal corridor, and then that opens up into a humongous chamber. You guys walk out and you're on this catwalk. Up above there is a solid metal ceiling, and then below you in the catwalk, there's these pens, and it looks kind of like something that livestock would be in. They're separate sort of stables, just dirt floors, watering troughs, a place where food can be lowered down. And in each of these pens, there's about a dozen of them. There's many aliens. There's probably 30 or 40 aliens in here. and they all look like Charlie. They're kind of his small size. They've got his big head. They're all wearing like these roughly sewn coveralls with names on the breast pockets. As soon as you enter, they all start like looking up and chattering, making those weird kind of clicks and grunts. Charlie is like reaching his hands out. You can tell he's really agitated. And Buddy's like, that's what this is. You didn't come here to destroy anything. This is a rescue mission.
That makes a lot of sense, but how are we going to free all of them?
There's a lot of them.
Maybe we got to. Well, first, I guess we got to get those like the tops of those trap doors and their cages. We got to open them up.
Does it seem like it is a manual sort of like rod and opening system, a lock and key system, or a button pushing electronic override system?
Let's see. Why don't you give me a brains roll and see how fast you can figure this out? Not too hard. Maybe 4 or 5 difficulty.
That's in that one.
All right, well, give yourself an adversity token. Unfortunately, like you look around, you scan it, but
I'm
maybe
still in the
go
fear.
ahead.
I'm still in the fear.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Ooh,
So
I
yeah,
actually have.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Isaac. I mean,
Sorry,
keep saying it. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yep. Sorry, you're still doing the thing.
What's that?
Sorry if you were still doing the thing, but I do.
Oh
have
no,
a-
I was just saying that Oswald is not able to find a way to open these cages.
But I do have a thing for this. Intuitive. I can spend an adversity token to ask the GM about your surroundings, an NPC or the like, and the GM must answer honestly. I have exactly 1 token.
I love it. All right, so yes, there is like a control panel at the end of this catwalk,
Mhm.
and you can see a bunch of buttons, just a few that could probably open up these pens.
All right, so Jordan points to that box over there and says, I think that's the thing that controls the pens.
Okay, who is heading over there to punch that button? Oh, and actually, just as you say this, Rosie appears behind you and joins you.
There you are.
Hey,
Buddy's like,
sorry I'm late to the party. I was busy shooting a guy in the face.
Rosie, and he actually gives you a quick hug.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah,
How you
actually,
doing?
could have used you a little bit sooner with that dude. I'm guessing you shot the weird doctor scientist dude.
Yeah, he was rolling around and speaking in German. I figured he was responsible for all this weird crap. So,
Yep.
And I mean, I'm asleep anyway, so I just figured the best way to take care of this whole thing is, to start fighting the monsters rather than running from them.
Yeah, he vivisected a lot of Charlie's people, so we set him on fire,
Yeah,
me and Buddy.
he was.
That's weird. I don't know if I would dream up a situation where I used words I don't understand.
Oh, wait.
This
I
is
set him on
like that
fire.
dream gibberish stuff.
That should. Well, didn't you give it to Buddy? So technically, Buddy set him on fire.
Buddy's
Yeah, but-
like, it was a team effort, I guess.
We set him on. That means we made a fire. I earned my merit badge, guys.
All right. Before
Buddy's
we think
like,
any further than that,
"Maybe."
we should probably go hit that button over there.
The rest
Yeah,
of you
tell
should
the
start
scouts.
looking around for unicorns. Usually there's unicorns in my dreams.
Good to know. I mean, it wouldn't be too far fetched. Let's just go hit that button.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
so
should
Sean,
probably
you're
do
walking
that.
over to hit the button?
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay. So you walk over, you reach over, you punch that button. The gates start like creaking open. You can see the aliens inside getting very excited, chittering, and they start like climbing their way up and getting out. When suddenly, Sean, there is an other end of this, and you feel a terrible grip on your shoulder and hear a static voice in your ears going, "Do you enjoy the latest hits?"
Shit.
And like that sunglasses wearing face goes right next to you and like a sort of whispering, Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. All right, Sean, what do you do?
Could I try and wheel out of his grip and step away from it?
It's gonna be tough. They have kind of a static cling. Go ahead and give me a flight roll, but it's gonna be kind of high. Maybe 9 or 10.
It exploded.
Ooh! All right, keep going.
Exploded
keep going.
again.
Whoa! Unbelievable.
And another 9, so 24 plus 9.
33.
That's a 33.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Okay.
Oh, plus 1 because I'm a kid.
34. Whoa!
34.
This might be the highest number we've ever gotten in this game. How do you deftly avoid this guy capturing you?
Let's see. You said this is pretty like static clinging. I think I just sort of slip out of like either the jacket or whatever shirt I'm wearing and just sort of just slip out of it and then just dash away.
Yeah, I think that would do it. You just like peel your way out of your coat, leave him holding it, and yeah, he's stuck there. And now, so what do you do now that you've pulled away from him?
I basically head back towards the rest of the group and just be like, guys, we got some company. Anybody have an idea?
I got a couple. How many of the aliens have run at this point?
Right now, I would say maybe about half of them have like climbed their way up, kind of monkey chimpanzee like. They just climbed their way up. Charlie and like Buddy are helping them reach the catwalk, and they're all pulling themselves up and hanging out there.
Okay. The rest of you should get further away. I'll take care of this thing.
Alrighty. Just try and survive.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna help out Charlie and Buddy.
you get a big enough
Okay.
shock in a dream and you wake up.
Buddy's like, I really don't think you're dreaming unless we're all dreaming
Just-
together.
Just
which
play
that's not
along.
how
Just play along,
dreams
dude. If whatever gets her
Okay.
doing stuff.
All right. Well, hope if this is a dream. Hope it's a good one.
Oh, it's horrible. Probably the worst dream I've ever had.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Okay. So, all right. So most of the aliens are up. The problem is there's not really a spot to run to. The lab behind you is now like an inferno. There is another way out, but you got to go down the catwalk, past where the sunglasses men are.
How many sunglasses men are there? Like
Okay.
one?
There was one. Then, like as he like steps further down after Sean's escape, like two more kind of step out of him. Sort of like his image is kind of like triples, and now there are three of them.
Got it.
And he's muttering like, and then they're all sort of saying together in unison, you know, kind of speaking at the same time, like, "You've granted us 1,000 keys. Abraxas will be here soon."
Oh, that's not good.
Okay,
Hey.
Rosie, what do you do?
She says like, "Hey, say the grass on your lawn turns a bit brown. What do you use to spruce it up?"
Why are you talking about lawns?
You use grenade. And she lobs the grenade at them. Because she turns around and looks at the rest of you. Is like, because green aid you get it?
That was a horrible joke.
It works. Just everybody duck.
Okay, the explosion goes off. Those sunglasses men vanish in a huge cloud of shrapnel. The catwalk is torn from its moorings. Everybody's going to give me a grit roll to see where they end up and how bad it's going to be. Oh, but remember Charlie can levitate stuff too, so maybe he could help people if they really need it. Let's start with Oswald.
All right.
It's not too high up, but it's going to be a bit of a fall.
I got 6 on grit.
Okay, Oswald plummets down. Jordan plummets down. Sean, how do you do?
9.
You were able to like grab onto part of the ruined catwalk and stay up. How about Rosie?
I got a 12.
Okay, you threw the grenade, so actually the explosion was like the farthest away from you. So you're still standing. Everybody else like slides down the catwalk, starts falling into this kind of a little aisle that like runs between the pens, or like on the pens themselves. I think some damage is going to result unless you guys are finding some way to, like I said, levitate yourselves.
I mean, Charlie does have the ability to do that, so
He has 4 out of 7 left. You want to use the 3 of them?
do we need to? I mean, unless anyone else has any ideas on what to do.
I do have an idea, but it's kind of big for what I want to do.
Okay. So maybe he could use. Would you be okay with him using 2 of them to save Oswald and Sean? And then we'll see
I
what
thought I
Jordan's
grabbed onto
plan is.
something. Okay.
Wait,
Never mind.
who are the? Oh, okay.
I fell down, and I just think
I was
Yeah, I
gonna
think
say.
everybody
I thought-
except for.
I
Oh
thought
no,
Sean
Sean's
was-
good. Never mind.
Yeah,
My
Yeah,
Sean
I
fault.
was
grabbed
okay.
grabbed onto
Right,
the,
right.
to the ledge. Yeah. So
Okay,
it's just
so-
Oswald and
Yeah,
Jordan, I think.
Oswald and Jordan. With that.
Yep.
So should he spend 2 to save them, or does Jordan have an idea here?
my idea was they're all aliens like Charlie, right? I mean, Charlie's wearing the crown. So I had the idea that maybe they could all join hands in a circle around Charlie, and he would use the crown to like amplify his powers.
Oh, okay. I like that. Okay. Yeah, let's have him only spend the 1. Giving you guys to I got 3 out of 7. Yeah, so poor Oswald and Jordan are plummeting. And then all of a sudden you stop falling. And you look down and you see that like that crown, the crown of Abraxas, is glowing. It's matching the glow in Charlie's eyes. And you are just caught and then gently lowered down and set into the and you're like on top of the pens. A little bit hard to find your footing because it's just bars below you, but you're up there now.
Okay, so we're not dead. That's great. But how are we going to get out of here?
I would like to see if there is a sort of like a truck stop door, like a shipping door, or like a some other sort of exit possible. I would like to use a adversity token for intuitive.
Okay.
Is there anything else, even if it's a vent grate that we can get out of, because it might all fit? Is there another way out of this that we can find?
Yeah, I would say there's like kind of a service entrance that runs sort of down the middle of the pens, and you can see it like turns the corner and then vanishes, but it does lead out of here.
Okay, so maybe because of my perspective up on the cage or something, I'll point that out. That way. And I'll do my best to, I guess, me and Jordan got to get down from this thing. So one shimmy down, then the other.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too hard to get down.
Okay.
Just, it takes some, you've been in a jungle gym. So you're able to, some playground experience lets you descend from the top of this pen to reach the aisle. And I would say everybody is able to kind of hop down. The aliens all follow, and you reach this this aisle. Ooh, okay. All right. You guys head down the corridor. You turn around. or not turn around. It leads to another chamber, which is like sort of a surveillance, monitoring panopticon kind of room. There's lots of control panels, those like ancient 50s reel-to-reel computers, some flickering fluorescent lights. Right now it's like empty, but you hear the alarms going on and you hear like footsteps pounding down the hall. You can definitely tell more people are on the way soon. And then amongst those footprints, you hear that familiar club-footed, like, click and fall of Dr. Baumgartner. So they're going to be here like momentarily.
Fear toxin would mess him up.
I'm sure it did, but he's able to. He's a strong-willed person.
Where's the? Can I ask you a question, everybody? Like, isn't Charlie supposed to like do something with the crown rather than just wear it and look pretty?
I think it makes his powers stronger.
Right.
Possibility, right?
So isn't he supposed to destroy these Abraxanites or whatever they're called?
I don't know.
Charlie, what do you think? Can you do something with the crown to like make the monsters go away?
Charlie looks at you, and you can tell he's like you can tell they're very worried. They're gonna need a little bit of coaxing.
It's all right, Charlie. You've saved us from the fall before. Your people are with you. All you gotta do is get through the monsters, and you're home free. You got this.
They give a slight nod. Go ahead and roll charm.
Hey, that's a D10 for me. I think I get a +1 on that, but it's only a 3.
Okay. They're gonna take a little.
Does anybody
go
else
ahead,
have
Rosie.
adversity tokens to spend besides me? I still have one. No.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Hey,
Okay. Rosie's gonna try to add to your roll by spending an adversity token, which I think is another 1, right?
1 for 1, I think.
I'm not sure what the DC is on this one, but
Oh, I don't know.
if I spend
Like a 5.
it'll give you. What are you at right now?
He's
I'm
at
at 3 with the 1, that's 4, and if I get another one, that's 5. Exactly.
Okay. All right. So yeah, if I spend mine, it's loyal. So
Okay, so
Oh,
that's
does
a
that
6.
give- Does
2.
that give 2?
Yeah.
So do you
Oh,
want to
so we
spend
could use
yours
that.
instead?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so how do Rosie and Oswald help
I think
cheer up
just
Charlie?
I think just Oswald's helping because he spends 1 adversity token and gives 2.
Oh, right. Okay. So how does Oswald help Jordan inspire Charlie?
I sort of, I guess, we have like the group, right? Is the entire like group with us?
Yeah,
So,
there's
I
like
guess they sort of
30
point them out,
aliens
like it's
crowding
not
into this
just
room here.
yeah. Okay, so I'm like, it's not just you, Charlie. We're all together now. So maybe you don't have to do this alone.
Okay. So Charlie puts he grabs the crown, he like shoves it further onto his head. His eyes glow a brilliant white. He holds up his hands, and then you hear a sonic boom ripping its way through the sky. Then the building starts to shake. Those lights flicker, several explode, some sparks rain down, and the ceiling of this structure starts to peel and crack. It rips its way up like fragments are flying into the sky. And when you look up, brilliant blue light courses down. These are the Husker lights. Oh, we're seeing that Sean is getting a little nervous, perhaps. Yeah, this is
Does not
definitely
like
nerve-wracking.
crowds, and 39 of these creatures, while they're probably not dangerous, it's just whole He's a little shaking right now.
Yeah, I mean, being afraid of crowds, but then being afraid, a crowd is one thing. A crowd of aliens, that's a whole other thing. So, yeah, the ceiling rips away, and these are the Husker lights, which are this strange aerial phenomenon, similar to the famous Marfa lights and other such glows around the world that appear in the sky above Husker County. But as you look up, you can see them. An armada of flying saucers. In the air, there's just dozens of these glowing silver discs frozen over the base. That blue light courses down, and then all around you, the captive aliens begin to rise. They start lifting up and floating their way to the safety of these flying saucers.
They're going home.
My mom was right. I should not have watched the day the earth stood still.
Unfortunately, as these aliens are going back, from one side, Dr. Baumgartner and a bunch of these like CIA goons start coming in. Baumgartner looks pretty bad. He's definitely still like in the throes of the hallucinogen that he was hit with. His hair, usually so neatly parted, has been like crazy and torn at. He's limping really heavily. His like tie is dangling down, and his eyes are crazy. And he's like, "No, the experiments, they are not allowed to leave. Get them down here. Stop them." And some of his men start trying to rush out, trying to grab onto these aliens and hold them back. But from the other side, you hear again that static crackle, and one of those sunglasses men walks around the corner and starts like moving in as well to try and capture some of them. Okay, so amongst all this blue light, these aliens flying home, what do you guys do?
What do we still have on us? One pistol, no grenades.
Charlie, do your ships have other powers besides helping your friends? Can they damage?
You see Charlie look over at you, and he raises kind of like one of his eyes gets a little bigger. He has no eyebrow. This is kind of like that. And then this is something that Marvin mentioned.
Oh yeah, can I describe it?
Yeah, go ahead.
The idea ahead of my head is he's still got the crown, right? And we're surrounded by forest.
Yeah, to amplify his power.
Yeah, so he would cause all the trees to like rise up and just come in marching towards the base and start smashing it apart.
Oh man, when Burnham Wood marches to, I can't remember my Macbeth. But yeah, it's a regular march of the Ents.
Exactly.
So, he's definitely gonna burn energy token for this. Is that okay?
If it's okay with everybody else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a climax kind of deal.
Oh yeah, so it's 2 out of 7 right now. Yeah. So I think like just as the CIA guys are about to start like grabbing their sidearms and unload, Jordan, how would you describe like what happens next? Like, does a tree just come charging in?
Oh yeah, smashing through the walls.
All right, I like that. A tree just kind of like Kool-Aid mans its way through the walls and rips through these CIA guys, knocking them down.
My
Its
ideas are
branches.
stupid, but I love them.
Its branches just like swing over, clothesline some of these guys, sending them flying. And yeah, it's chaos around that area, and you can see there is a little bit of a way out. Or actually, I think instead, Charlie is like motioning you guys to get closer to him. By now, pretty much all the aliens are ascending. He's motioning for you guys to get together, and then he is pointing up towards the UFOs.
Rosie goes, yeah, sure, why not? By the way, is the creepy doctor guy still like within
Yeah, I mean he's being like punched by a tree, but you can still see him.
On her way over to Charlie, she just kind of like drunkenly, almost like leans over and shoots him in his good leg.
Whoa! Go ahead and roll a fight, because that sounds like a little tricky to do, because it's in chaos, and it's kind of a harder hit. Maybe.
Yeah, she doesn't do it, but I get an adversity token.
Hey.
All right, so you fire at him. Unfortunately, the shot does go wide, but that's a great idea to make him a double bad leg man. Club his other foot, perhaps. Oof.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Major
no,
apologies to anybody who actually does have a club foot. Just the guy who this is based on does have a real club foot, so I had to have it.
She looks at him and goes, just so you know, I could have killed you right now and I spared your life. So think about it.
He just like looks over you and he's like, I'm in hell.
Yeah, ain't we both, mister?
Y'all are.
And another tree punches him in the gut.
So this blue light wraps around you, and then all of you start lifting up, heading toward the underside of that spaceship. Unfortunately,
I lost it. Oswald loses it at this moment. He is in the fear being lifted by the blue light.
oh, okay. You want to roll grit there, or
I don't know. I'm just loving the moment. Sorry. Keep going.
okay? But as you're floating up, there was one more sunglasses man. He's charging over. He is like lifting himself up, and he changes a little bit. He's the human shape he's wearing starts to fade away. You can see his arms like extending, that all of his features just like bulging and running away, and you see this kind of strange, almost winged blob, kind of a weird mix of insect, slug, covered in these glowing pustule-like eyes, reaching towards you with tentacles and tendrils. Definitely now in full Abraxanite mode. What do you guys do? He is actually, in fact, one tentacle wraps around Charlie's little leg.
Go let other people go before Rosie. I feel like everybody knows what.
Yeah,
Rosie's
maybe let's
gonna
check in
do.
with Sean. I think he isn't done. Sean, this is happening closest to you.
I guess I'll just grab onto Charlie and sort of just be like a resistance kind of a thing. Just sort of.
Okay, give me a brawn roll.
Sure. It's a D10.
Maybe the face of this thing is sort of still there, and it's still making vaguely human noises, just being like, do you like the latest hits? The voice is barely there. You got a 2? Okay, unfortunately, you and Charlie are being dragged down towards this Abraxanite. Oswald, what are you doing?
That's a really good question. I think anything that happens at this moment is going to have to seem like accidental or something like that. Man. Do I have an adversity token left. I do have one. And intuitive, let's see, ask about my surroundings. On this sort of blobbed, pustuled, winged, tentacled thing, does something seem like it's screaming out, I'm a weak point. Puncture me.
Yeah, maybe like one of the eyes.
Does something remind me of one of my brother's pimples, basically? I've seen my brother's acne. He's a teenager, so he's got like really, does something remind me of one that's about to burst? Somebody's like, oh, that one right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a particularly bad, blackhead looking kind of thing there.
All right. I'm gonna like go, whoa, boop. Just sort of like curiously, sort of like maybe poke at it or something.
Okay, give me a quick maybe brawn or fight.
I'll go fight. That's actually better.
Not too hard of a roll.
6. It explodes.
Nice.
Ooh, okay, go ahead and roll again.
And a 1. So that's a 7.
All right, that's still good. Yeah, I would say this is like gonna be 2 or 3 because you already found the weak point. And you poke it, it explodes. There's a big splash of that oil slick greenish goop, and the whole thing kind of like sort of deflates and floats down, smashes onto the ground. It lets go at Charlie and Sean. You guys float your way inside the flying saucer.
Can I ask one quick question?
Go ahead, Jordan.
So as it floats to the ground, I'm going to shout, what even are the latest hits? What are you talking about? Explain yourself. I thought so.
Incomprehensible burbling.
When you ask that question, Rosie literally lists off everything that's like a current top 20 hit.
Oh. Including that weird song you keep singing?
Fly Me to the Moon isn't really up there right now, but they seem to be into it.
I don't know why. I don't really like the song, but maybe other people do.
I feel like it was, there's a word for it. It's like in a book where like something's going to happen and they talk about it beforehand, and it has something to do with like shade. Because right now we're flying to the moon.
Oh, yeah. Kind of forgot we're flying into an alien ship.
Yeah, I was going to drop a cherry bomb on him, but she holds the cherry bomb out and it's also kind of continuing to float upwards. He grabs it back.
All right, you guys float your way into the underside of this ship. You are all surrounded in light. Charlie, appears in front of you. And for some, inside, it does not look like a ship at all. It just looks like kind of a big, sort of white, glistening void. The other aliens, so like this was not a ship at all, but a door to a weird, ethereal, cloud-like dimension. The other aliens kind of stretch, blur, and start flying away, almost as little thin lines coursing their way up into this abyss. Charlie's image appears around you, also shifting and changing, becoming more cloud-like, more ethereal, and you are all hit with a simple feeling of vast gratitude. Then it fades away. All you guys are standing on a hillside overlooking Fort Pickett, which is just wrapped up in chaos, on fire, under attack by trees. By now, most of the trees have stopped being animated, but still soldiers are still unloading on them. Fires are going kind of out of control, but you can see a bunch of fire trucks zooming by on the road, the sirens all flashing, rushing towards the base to help put it out.
I just remembered, we set a lab on fire. A lab that's full of chemicals that we have no idea what exactly they do. So would something explode at this point?
Yeah, this probably is a pretty good explosion. You're a bit far away, so you can see that distant boom and that fire cloud welling up.
Cool.
And then a truck of Goglio liquor distributors comes rolling its way down the road, creaks to a halt, and Isaac is there. He pokes his head out and says, "Oh, I was worried. And I got this image in my head saying I should pick you kids up here. If it hadn't been for what I'd seen before, I wouldn't believe my own thoughts. But I came straight here, and there you are." Well, I think you better get in. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
I was just saying, I think we're all having weird thoughts right now. Maybe this is all what it is, just weird thoughts.
Or it's just Charlie. I think he said thank you to all of us.
Yeah, that was. I'm trying to justify everything that's been going on. It's just.
Trust me. Spend too much time doing that, it'll make your brain hurt. Just focus on what you can do for your friends and yourself right now. That includes getting in this truck so I can get us the hell out of here.
You'd think that I would be able to understand all of this with all of the stories that I heard from the father, but still crazy.
Can I ride shotgun? I get car sick.
Yeah, I think that'll be all right.
Cool. Can I have a shotgun?
Someday, but not now. Besides, you seem to have plenty of firepower to yourself already.
Yeah, I shot a guy in the face.
Jordan?
You killed someone.
Mhm.
Sure.
Jordan, I gotta say, you picked yourself some good friends.
I guess they are my friends. It's weird. I kind of started all this out just being on my own. Then I met an alien, and everyone else just kind of tagged along. And then we became friends through all of it. And then we set a whole army base on fire. That was great.
So with that, you guys all pile into the truck, and he drives you back towards New Hookton and the Bend and your own homes, leaving you with only a memory of what happened with Charlie, bunch of aliens, some horrible stuff, some fears come to life, but at least you met some friends along the way. And I think that is where we're going to bring this episode and this entire arc to a close. This is actually the halfway point of all of Strange Generations. We're going to have 3 more episodes, either checking back on these characters as adults, or maybe seeing some new characters who are playing kind of in a mid to late 70s when they're a little bit older, maybe a little bit wiser, maybe not. And we'll see what happens to them as history goes on.
Did we want to do a little denouement for the characters, or?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
if
a
you
little epilogue.
if you want to give me like sort of a preview of what's happening with them in the future, if you thought of that, or if you could imagine like what happens to them the next day or when they get home, just something like that, to kind of to close out, that'd be awesome. So maybe we'll start with Rosie and kind of go around.
Sure. So Rosie never shows up at school again.
Whoa.
Like, she's
Okay.
just gone. Nobody really knows what happened to her in the town. But later on, when you're older, maybe 1 or 2 of you like see the record that she put out and you go, oh. So yeah, she just fled town because the basic thing is if this wasn't a dream, then she really just did kill somebody and she doesn't want to deal with that. So if she never has anybody tell her otherwise, she'll never know. So like that night, she just packs what she's got and gets on a Greyhound bus and heads to New York City. Because she learned that she could make money, like playing piano. So.
That's fair. Takes the first bus to New York.
Pretty much. Like as fast as you can.
All right. How about Oswald?
Bear with me on this one. Oswald loves games. So he definitely meets up with, if it's okay with Sean and Jordan on a regular basis, and confers with Sean about like different creatures, beings, what their like abilities would be, power ratings, levels. He tries to put math into it, really tries to figure out, technical things. Then he talks with Sean, definitely talks to him about Isaac and how a human is able to do things that he's able to do, and uses that as a basis for inspiration. Then his brother Theodore, Ted, meets Nancy. They get married, they have kids. Mike. He meets Nancy, I think. Or is it Karen? That's what he meets. He meets Karen. And they have 2 kids, Mike and Nancy. And basically, Oswald develops game styles that you might see in the 70s come out. Wheeler family is famous for possibly hosting at their house. Yeah, Uncle Oswald comes out with some games that Ted gives to his kids, and so they become famous. I don't want to say too many things as far as names go.
Oh, sure. Sort of one of the Gary Gyjacks is in the
little role-playing games that come out, involve dice, creatures.
I love it. Yeah, taking some inspiration.
Yeah.
Whoa. All right. Well, so I love the idea that we're coming back, that you're like becoming a role, the inventor perhaps of those role-playing games that we are enjoying right now. That's so cool. Okay, let me make a quick note of that. All right, so that's what happens with Oswald. What about Jordan?
Oh, later on that same day when we just sent Charlie home, Jordan is going to try and convince Isaac to come inside the house real quick and see if he can just bother to talk to, Jordan's grandma, Isaac's sister, just to kind of, I don't know, rebuild the bridge or at least get some closure on things. Because he notices there's a lot of tension in his family. And Jordan, of course, is going to spill the beans of everything that just happened. And with Charlie, the army base, and everything.
Oh yeah,
that could help.
I think Jordan's grandmother is definitely upset about it, but she's glad that Isaac protected her grandson. And I think thanks to Jordan, they do kind of patch things up. So Isaac, in his golden years, does get to have become a member of the family.
Yay! And as for Jordan continuing on in his life, he's going to always wonder how Charlie is doing and see if maybe he can get back into contact with him. Because now there's proof that life outside of Earth exists. So Jordan might actually become not exactly an extraterrestrial expert, but kind of an astronomer. Going on that road, Trying to prove,
very cool.
Yes, life does exist outside of Earth.
Maybe like rubbing elbows with Carl Sagan and so on.
Maybe.
Ooh.
I have no idea who Carl Sagan is.
Oh, he's I think a famous. He did the old Cosmos program.
He was he was basically the previous Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh.
Yeah, he wrote Contact, billions and billions, kind of this catchphrase.
That sounds awesome.
Definitely. All right, I love it. And then let's check in with Sean. How does Sean grow up? You have kind of a preview, if you have an idea.
I mean, other than just sort of working with Oswald every once in a while and getting Oswald started, he actually doesn't really want to deal with what happened with him and all of this. He just wants to sort of step away from it and just sort of try and live a semi-normal life. I think he just sort of he's just okay, I've seen way too much stuff. I'm just gonna. He just becomes a kind of almost a lazy thing. He feels like he peaked at 12. So
oh wow, those kind of people have some pretty rough times, I gotta say.
He witnessed some crazy stuff, and now he's okay, what else is there in life? So he's just sort of. I think if he does come back, he's probably going to be the lazy guy, the lazy adult, just sort of being why are you guys rushing all of this? We're just tiny little things. Why do you guys care?
All right. Well, I mean, you kind of picked the right decade for someone who just wants to hang around all day doing nothing.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Well, you will check back with all of these characters. I think we're going to take next week off, and then one more week for the holidays, because it is Christmas and so on's coming up. And we'll probably do in fact, I think maybe the first episode we do when we return, which will be on December 29th. I mean, I got to do it. It's got to be the Christmas special, even if we're post-Christmas. But in our game, it will be December 25th. It will be Christmas. Christmas in New Hookton. Oh, and yes, Jordan does get that merit badge. He finally gets the merit badge for making fires.
Good.
And we'll be setting some fires of our own when we come back here on December 29th. Rejoin these characters, our 1970s arc, and the second half of this entire series. You'll see all of that when Strange Generations returns.
Awesome. We're at the halfway point. I can't wait to see what's going to happen here. 70s is going to be my favorite, I think. This one is leading up to that is going to be so good. Thank you so much, guys, for watching out there. Thank you guys so much for playing. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see everyone back here on Tuesday, December 29th. Correct? Yes, December 29th. You said it multiple times.
Yep, for the holidays.
Yes. So we're going to take a couple weeks off to get our creative juices flowing. That was something we were talking about before the stream. Let's take some time to get that done and come back for some. I wonder what's going to happen this Christmas special. I'm always curious about. I remember last year Michael got a little silly. So let's see. You have yourself to compete with, sir. So
I think I'll go in like another direction because I can't, I can't top cocaine.
Yes,
Disco Cocaine Center, or whatever that was.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was
it's
amazing.
weird because I feel like cocaine is going to come up again.
Oh, 100%.
It's
I mean,
the
if nothing
70s.
else, because of my character, because she's like a a songwriter, singer, producer in the 70s.
Oh, they were on the rails
Yeah.
back then, so to speak.
Surpass trademarks. Eric Clapton. Yeah, that would be so great. Okay. Other than that, we will see you guys in a few weeks. But until then, make sure and pull up a chair and make
make time
To table tap.
Thanks, guys. It's been awesome. See you soon.
Good night, everybody. Happy holidays. Stay safe.
Beware.